Welcome back, everybody. We are on episode 19 of the Stream PC. We took a short break and we're back. Boys, we have an interesting things to go over today. Okay. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what is your least favorite aspect of streaming. Now, before you guys freak out, I'm not asking you what you hate or what you don't like, just your least favorite part. It could be something you hate if you have something on your minds. I know we love our job, right? But Sauce got asked this while he was live the other day, and I just really liked this question. So, what do you guys? What's your answer, Sauce? What is your least liked aspect of streaming?
I guess I got two. I know it's least liked, but
that's okay.
these I'd probably put around the same thing. Editing is one of them. Like I'm not a big fan of editing, but it's something I have to do, and it's okay. Like I'm getting better at it. I'm liking it more as I go. But it's not something that I feel confident at in comparison to streaming and just making content on the fly.
That's fair.
So there's that. Other than that, my second thing would have to be people not understanding how much work goes on behind streaming. Because obviously you guys see what happens on screen, and some people take it at face value. Like that's all the work we put in is, yeah, well, he streams for 4 hours 4 times a week. That's only 16 hours a week, bro. I could do that. Sure, you could. But then there's that other 65 hours that we're doing everything else. Like it's a lot of stuff, man. Yeah, and I don't think that's noticed by everybody. I know a lot of people notice it and understand, but there's still that group of people that just don't get it. Yeah. And I wish they did.
I mean, and I'll take the hit here, and I'll sound like a real douche. I just don't think it's appreciated by a lot of people. Like I think the amount of time that we spend, planning, as far as content goes or whatever, and edit, like you said, editing, I just don't think it's appreciated by some people because, like you said, they don't even consider it. And there's things like that all over your aspect of life, dude. Like there's things that are going on to make the world run that people don't understand and they don't appreciate it. Like I recently switched departments at my job here recently, and I'm learning a whole new aspect of things that, the city does to provide fresh water for each household. Shit I never even thought of that people had to do, it's a whole new appreciation of something. So I think a lot of people that don't stream themselves or create content themselves, they just don't have that appreciation, which is just like, oh, it's annoying. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right, dude. I think also that part of editing, I think that'd be a super cool segue to jump into something else for just a second, is like when you're editing a YouTube video, what are you taking out? You're taking out, silent areas, long pauses, maybe, some like not comically funny fails, but like, let's say like you're trying to do a certain thing and you had to do it like 100 times. Maybe you're taking that out just for the fluidity of the video. And I think a tip to a new streamer or something would be like, even if you're not going to post it anywhere, take your VOD and edit it like you do a YouTube video. And I think that would teach you real quick, like how much pause you have. Because I think people realize it, like when you're live and you're doing something, when you go back and look at your VOD, you're like, why am I quiet for like 2 minutes here? What the hell? Like, so I think that's a super cool little tool to make, you realize something about yourself. Because I can come in your stream and be like, hey, Sauce, like you haven't spoke for 2 minutes, bro. What's going on? And like, cool. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, thanks. Like you will, but you do it to a different streamer, they just get mad and they don't get the message, So anyways,
I personally don't really post a lot of clips and stuff anymore, but I did get pretty in depth on how to do everything. So like if I'm ever scrolling through any type of social media and I see, I can always tell whenever somebody puts a lot of effort into editing something, and I'll, just out of respect, I'll watch it for a little bit, just because you can see how much time that they put in, effort that they put into that clip, and it's really frustrating on my part whenever I would put a couple of hours into editing a clip, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't do anything. It has no legway at all getting any kind of views or anything. And then you post one that you only put like 3 minutes into, and gets 1,000 views, and you're like, what the heck, you know?
Right.
Is
mean, I
my
think-
effort a joke to you?
I think that's one of my favorite clips that we have on socials is where Sauce is, talking about that exact situation. He says, fucking hurts, man. That's just one of my favorite clips that we have on the podcast here. Yeah, dude, I just think, that's a super great thing that you do, but like, you're one in a million, obviously, right? We all know that. But I mean, you're absolutely right. It's so annoying to spend all that time editing and doing all that. And then you're like, oh, look at that. Another 200 view video. Thank you, TikTok. Or, whatever site you're posting to. And then, I've made something on the fly in the work truck, just real quick, shitty audio, just not looking good. Just 'cause I was like, oh, for the sake of having to feel like I need to post every day. And then that freaking blew up. And I was like, okay, dude, like that is annoying. But anyways, Lucky, what is your least liked aspect of streaming? Like, what's the part that you like the least? Like to me, like that question is like, what part is work to you? You know what I mean? Like, is all this is fun, obviously, but what part is like, oh, this is work.
Yeah.
This is a chore. It's what I got to do. Because to me, I'm a human, right? That's probably what I like the least. Like, I like brushing my teeth so they look good and they're healthy and they don't hurt when I eat. But then, like, that's my least fucking favorite thing to do at the end of the night. Like, I'm just trying to go to bed. You know what I mean?
Well, I gotta do this.
Right.
Mine, I'd probably say the learning curve that comes with streaming.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you how many sleepless nights and hours watching YouTube learning about this new thing that I've got put into it. That's only for me, that's only going to be useful for streaming.
Right. Yeah.
In a way, it's kind of nice because there's a lot of new people that'll come in and they'll want to stream, and I've got a fucking endless amount of knowledge that I can help them with.
Right.
Which is always nice to have because I always enjoying helping people. But I'm never going to use that knowledge anywhere else, and at least not for me. I mean, it could be useful for someone else that tries to, take it to another level, I guess, if they get a job in that field somewhere.
Right.
Another thing would probably be the amount, the requirement amount of money that you really need to put into being able to edit and do everything. If you want it to look really nice,
Right.
like if you want a really good looking image quality video, you have to have a certain amount of money you need to put into it if you want to do that.
Right.
It's not required. Nobody's saying you have to do this, but for someone like me, and I know Sauce and you want your video, your clips to look, pristine. So you invest a little bit of money into it because you want your stuff to look 4K.
It's definitely either a money investment, a time investment, or a knowledge investment.
Right.
So you have to have one of those things to be able to invest into it, and that's definitely something that's super important to know.
Yeah, and all those companies know, and they're taking full advantage of it. Because if anybody I can name right now, Streamladder, Canva, CapCut, it doesn't matter. They all offer really great services that are free. But then they're 720 capped. And then it's like, hey, if you want 1080p 60 frame, it's going to cost you a smooth little $10 a month. And that's annoying. Like that.
Yeah.
That part is frustrating. There's this software that I wanted to start using for the podcast here, to help me. Because I spend however long this episode is. So let's say this episode's an hour. So I'm probably spending an hour 45 on it, cutting it, fixing the audio, blah, 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 doing whatever I'm doing, so there's I can't remember the name of it, software that I can plug it in, and it's supposed to get rid of all the pauses for me. Right. So it did okay, but it was like, if you want this to be done faster, because it took like 2 hours for the AI to do it. Right. So I'm technically faster than the AI. Well, then it's like, well, if you want the AI to be faster and you want it to be more accurate, oh, so you're intentionally not accurate to charge me money. Gotcha. So like that was super frustrating. It'd be a super cool idea, and that's where they get you, man, because all these companies know you want the best quality and you want the least amount of effort and time, so they're gonna make you pay for it. You know, that's how, I mean, it's good business practice. That's how they make their money, you know, so
that's life in general. You want to do something the easy way, it costs more money.
Yeah, frustrating, but
it
is truth. Yeah. You know, for my least favorite aspect, you know, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, you know, we talked about this a long time ago now. You know, sometimes just like the anxiety of hitting that go live, you know. I think honestly that's usually my least favorite part. You know, I could sit here and say like all the different tabs I have to open up and put my title, because I'm a multi-streamer. I do that to myself. You know, like I have to like put all this information everywhere, set up, like setting up takes me almost like 20 minutes now minimum, and that's on a good day if I'm focused to hit the go live. But sometimes just that anxiety of it, you know, which shouldn't even be there anymore at this point. But it's just one of those things where, you know, again, like we've talked about before, like just so competitive, you know, just always wanting to do so well, you know, and then my need to look at my number, which is, you know, how many people I have in here, you know, who's chatting, who's not chatting, you know, just like that feeling of not succeeding would probably be my least favorite aspect of streaming, you know. And it's not, again, it's not just like I think I deserve more, or I think, you know, I'm just this and that and I need to be number one. I think to me it's becoming like a guilt feeling if I'm not doing well. Oh, I'm in here wasting time instead of being in there with my family, you know, or, you know, being in bed with my wife, you know, because I know a lot of streamer wives have coined, you know, I hate going to bed alone, you know, because we're in here late at night, you know, doing the work that is required. So yeah, I definitely, just all of that, you know. And again, that's all personal. Like that's not everybody feels that way. There's a big majority that do, I'm sure, but that's just all personal stuff for me. But that would be my least favorite aspect of it, you know. And that being said, I mean, there's all kinds of different answers that we could have here, you know. And I think everybody's different. You know, I think some people might hate that part more of like setting up and like putting their title everywhere and all that. I know people hate that. So, other than that,
especially if they stream to 72 places like you do.
Yeah, I know it. You know, and it's been awesome. It's been a good experience. You know, people ask me all the time. I've had, you know, some same size / bigger streamers come in and ask me, you know, is it really worth it to stress yourself out over that chat? I was like, well, it's not really stressful because I got this super awesome bot that combines, you know, majority of those chats. You know, I'm a Twitch main. Twitch is home. I've said that before. So Twitch still has its own chat. So I am still technically going back and forth between 2 different chat sections. But now one of them is just full of other stuff. And sometimes it moves really quick and sometimes things get missed. But yeah, it's something that we talked about, you know, when you become a higher level each time of tier of streamer, you know, you get to the highest point, those guys rarely look at chat. And if they do, they're just picking out something. And then that person feels all special and dedicated because, you know, their message got read. So that's just part of it. Oh my God,
they read my chat.
You know, yeah. You know, I definitely take a lot of pride in trying to hit every message that, you know, is said to me. But, you know, we're getting to that point now where sometimes it's moving, man, and just can't, there's just no way. You know, I can't stop the whole stream to sit there and scroll for 5 minutes to find your message, you know, so.
Especially when you're in the middle of doing something, you know, like it's
right.
Like whenever you're doing like GTA RP, or if you're like in the middle of like a COD match or whatever, like you have to be doing what you're doing in that exact second, and you can't necessarily just glance at whatever's happening in chat. And you know, that sucks that you miss things every once in a while. I hate missing things, so I try to scroll back up and see it, but you know, people just got to understand sometimes.
I can't relate. I've died many a times playing COD looking at chat.
Oh, I have too, for sure. Yeah. especially if we're already not doing well for the night, you know, you're like, fuck this game. And, you know, you just start having fun with chat or whatever. So yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, in story-based games, or like, you know, like this last weekend, you know, the 3 of us were part of, you know, my little community thing, my Temple feud, and we made sure to announce to everybody. I had a moderator in there telling everybody that came in, welcome. They're not chatting, they're just putting on a show, which was super awesome. I had a lot of fun with it. Like, it was a lot of fun to not have to, interact with chat and just interact with you guys. And, as much as the part of my brain was like twitching because I could see, because I was bad and I left my chat up. I should have hit it, and I could see it moving, and
itch.
my poor mod was in there like feel like she's fighting zombies or something. She's like, hi, hello, they're not chatting right now. Like, I was like, oh, she's at work, and big shout out to her. But yeah, while we're talking about least favorite aspects, this just popped in my brain. This is totally off our little pre-script we had here. I really kind of want to talk about how I've seen a lot of streamers taking a step back here lately. A lot of people that I know, either from this community or from a past community, who are just kind of like giving up on themselves. And again, I think I said this like episode 2 or 3. They reach out to me and they're like, hey, like, I feel like I'm in a rut. I feel like I'm doing this, this, and this. I feel like nothing's changing. Nobody comes in and chats with me. Nobody's, interacting with me. I don't feel like I'm growing any. And then I'm like, okay. And I asked the same series of questions that I have since the beginning, and the same things I ask myself when I'm upset with myself. Are you networking? Are you trying new things? Are you happy playing the thing that you're playing? Are you putting on a show, playing the thing that you're playing? We'll just use this as an example. I'm not calling anybody out here. Madden, if you just want to play Madden all day, cool. But if you sit there with like an angry face and like, or you're not speaking, you're not hyping up nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to watch that. Yeah. I know America's sport is baseball. I get it. Nowadays it's turning into football. We can't say it's not, but I see guys playing basketball's big. But I see guys playing, MLB, and like just mad because nobody comes in there. I'm like, well, MLB's fun to play. Cannot tell you it's fun to watch, I just think that's interesting. And again, I'm like, hey, we'll join the community and hang out, and then they'll come in and then they leave. And I'm like, how did that work out for you? Well, nobody came by. I never saw you message once. You never came in, made a friend. So I think there's so much more to streaming that a lot of these guys aren't paying attention to, which is exhausting. It's an exhausting part. This part that I'm about to talk about, is going in and making those friends and talking. Now, when you make friends and they're legitimate friends, it's no longer exhausting, but to start off, it really is like trying to go and meet people. It's like if I challenge you to go in public and walk into a crowd of people and be like, hi, everybody, I'm this person. I would like to, that's rough and it's scary, even though you're, for anybody that's listening and they're like, oh, you're behind a computer screen, how's that? It's the same amount of anxiety as doing it in real life.
You could feel like you've been thrown to the wolves at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a weirdo. That's not a problem.
So if you guys had a friend in this exact situation, okay, they're streaming, they're refusing to change it up, they're refusing to, what advice would you give them? So the advice that I gave. You see the work that they're not putting in clearly. What would you say differently to help this person? Because this person wants to be a streamer, right? And I'm just at a loss. I'm like, I'm obviously the wrong person for you. Honestly, I feel like at this time, like it's just kind of some own self-sabotage here, but what are we thinking?
I don't know. Me personally, like, it takes a lot for me to stick around in somebody's stream if they're only playing sports games. Why is that hard to say? I don't know. Y'all know that I'm not big into watching sports. I don't mind playing sports.
Really?
I had no idea.
But I mean, like, if Aztecans played Madden before, I'll hang out in there because we're good friends. Sauce has played Madden before, and I hang out in there because we're good friends. But that's something that that's built up over time. If I had started out streaming and Sauce was streaming Madden instead of Pokemon that day, I probably would have never met Sauce. I mean, that's just how it is. I blew it, and we wouldn't be here. It would be sad. Be a sad day. But there's nothing wrong with trying something different. We've talked in previous episodes about, adapting and trying new things, and even though it might be scary, it's something that's gonna happen eventually, regardless, that you need to do,
Yeah.
trying to change it up a little bit.
But my
Mhm.
problem is I feel like people take that advice, right? So somebody listening right now is going to be like, okay, play a different game, right? So they go and they change, right? And
Mhm.
then they don't get results instantly, and then they think we're wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you start
You
a new
can't
game,
expect
where are
something
you
to
at?
happen
Right,
overnight.
you're at the
The
bottom of the
problem is
barrel.
instant gratification. There's no such thing as instant gratification when you're streaming.
Right.
Things are built up over time. And newsflash, you're not entitled to anybody being in your stream. I've said it before.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is. If they come in, cool. If they don't, they don't. You should be streaming
Facts.
because you enjoy doing it.
Right.
And if you don't
So-
enjoy doing it, get the fuck off the platform.
So I mean that's an argument that I have. I mean I have receipts. I can prove it. We all know that I for whatever reason I'm weird and I did not really enjoy playing Skyrim. It's a good game. It's a great game, but it's just not my thing. I do want to go back and play it again in the future just to see, because I think deep down there's something there. Because the other day
You
I
guys
was
hear
just,
that?
the other day I was like, I kind of want to fight a dragon right now, So
Yeah, he
Um,
did.
yeah, I said that in Sauce's mouth. I was like, it's happening. It's happening.
Women.
But anyways, that the Elder Scrolls, whatever you guys call yourselves, community is so freaking amazing. I don't think I had a single troll. All I had was like full of
Mhm.
people excited to give me backstory, give me lore, give me tips, help me out. It was so great. I have nothing but good things to say about that whole community. Now, did I get lucky? Maybe. I don't know. Are there shitheads out there? I'm sure every community has them. But
Oh, yeah.
anyways, the point I'm trying to make here, I'm sorry, I kind of went off there for a minute, is we'll tell you to play different games. I know for a fact I can go play Skyrim, and I know I'm going to average more viewers. So what a lot of new streamers will make the mistake of is they'll sit there and they'll be like, well, I don't really like this game, but I know I get viewership and engagement, so I'm going to sit here and play this game. Eventually, your little veil will be unveiled, and everybody will be like, oh my God, you actually hate being here. And then they're not going
Mhm.
to watch you. So,
Yes.
I know easily if I wanted to feel like I reset myself, I could go play Skyrim and have a bunch of new faces in. It'd be fun, but at the end of the day, if I don't enjoy their game, guess what? They're going to leave.
I think it's a fine line of finding a game that you enjoy and a game you're entertaining at the
Mhm.
same time.
Yeah.
And it also has to be a game that has some type of traction. Now, can you get traction on a game that has less than 100 viewers on Twitch? Sure. You could be the biggest person in that category. That's fine if that's what you enjoy. If you're a Super Smash Brothers player and that's all you want to play and that's all you're really good at and you
Hell
love
yeah.
that game, play it. There's an audience out there for that. If you're someone who likes playing GTA RP and you're really good at it, do that. If you're someone who loves COD, but you're like not very good at it and you're like, I don't know if I can really be entertaining with it, maybe you don't stream COD. Maybe you
Right.
stream a story game because you're more entertaining playing a story game. Because at the end of the day, this is a TV show you're putting on for somebody.
Right.
This is a full production you're putting on. So you have to be entertaining and you have to enjoy what you're doing at the same time. So
it shows.
if you
It
can
shows
have
on
both,
screen.
you win.
The show's heavy on screen. You can tell.
Mhm.
I love that when I post Call of Duty content anywhere. It's almost like every video, if somebody's just like, you think this was worth posting? Like, you think you're good? I could beat you, I think it's so funny because I'm like, one, I never claimed to be good at the game. Two, like, I don't play COD to be, I'm competitive naturally in anything I do, but like, I don't
Mhm.
play it because I think I'm good. Like, I play it because I think I'm fucking funny in certain situations. And, I think, I'm entertaining when I play it. And I love it. So that is my game that I found that I love and can be entertaining with. But I did the same. I had the same energy when I played Fortnite last week for the first time in forever. I had fun. I put a lot of energy out. People were having fun. They were like, "Oh my God, you were so funny," But at the end of it, I was just like, I didn't enjoy it. I
Yeah, it's
enjoyed
not
the
your
people.
thing.
Right. I enjoyed the people I was playing with. I enjoyed the type of game of shooting battle royale. But at the end, I was like, meh. I don't feel satisfied with that, you
Yeah,
know?
and that's
So-
completely fine. Just like if you enjoy Farming Simulator, I know I rag on it every once in a while, but if that's your thing and you're good at it and you're entertaining while you're doing it, there's an audience out there for that. I'm not your audience for that, but there is one
Obviously.
out there. So if that's your
Oh,
thing,
man.
do it. And if your thing is, if your name is Farming Simulator 2022 and you like cranking 90s on Fortnite and you're good at it and you're entertaining, you could still build an audience doing that.
Yeah.
So just keep
just
in
wanna-
mind that you got to enjoy yourself. First
I
and
just want to
foremost.
give a big shout out to Farming Simulator community. I love you guys. I just bought my boy a John Deere today, so I just want everybody to, understand that we don't all feel the way Sauce feels. Okay, don't wrap the stream PC as a hater. Okay, just Sauce. It's just
We all hate it. No, I actually don't hate it. I don't think it's a bad game. I just couldn't play it and have fun
Yeah.
doing it.
well, it's just to
Not a
me,
big thing.
it's
What
like
about
real
Power
life.
Washing Simulator.
It's just that's satisfying for some
I
reason.
have played Power Washing Simulator just because I'm like, if there's nothing else to do, you start doing it, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna clean this thing.
I wouldn't stream it. I wouldn't stream Power Washing
Oh, no.
Simulator, but like if you're
I'ma
stressed out,
clean this
bro,
thing.
and you're like
It's your
not
wind
in the
down game.
mood, yeah, you just wind down with bro. Satisfying.
I literally had it like I was playing Power Wash Simulator and watching something on Netflix at the same time. You're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is the way to do it.
Nice. So another thing that some newer streamers in our community have been complaining about, which I thought was hilarious, is it gave me flashbacks of me when I was starting out with you guys. They're noticing a dip in followers. They're noticing like like pretty much everybody in the community has like a little follower goal set up through Twitch or whatever. And they're noticing, oh, like I was 1 away from my goal, but now I'm like 4 away. What happened? Like, what do you guys, what would your advice be to a newer streamer? Like, hey, like I know because you told me, but officially, what would your advice be? Because I used to care a lot. I used to get hurt by
you
it.
did.
Yeah.
Not even just a
Yeah.
little bit. You used to like worry about that hardcore.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it does not matter.
Nah.
Like
Right.
if you lose a follower here, you lose a follower there. Odds are it's not even a real person. It's probably a bot that
They got
followed you at one
banned.
point that got banned, or
Finally.
somebody that got
Right.
banned on the platform, or somebody that just hasn't been using their account for so long it's just gone.
Yeah, that
And
happens.
it happens all the time. And does it suck to see a number fluctuate at first? Sure. That's why you don't really pay attention to that number, because at the end of the day, the only time that number matters is to hit affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
One time you need 50 followers.
Right.
What do you need after that?
View.
Nothing. You get concurrent viewers. So your concurrent viewers is the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter that I have over 3,000 followers on Twitch.
Flex.
I still have, well, not really, because it doesn't matter. It's just because I've been streaming as long as I have, right? The only thing that matters is the concurrent people that are actually coming to the stream, supporting and enjoying the content.
Right.
And if I have 3,000 followers and 2 concurrent viewers, I'm probably not doing the best at streaming at that point.
Mhm.
Because obviously I didn't do something to keep those 3,000 people interested in my stream.
Yeah.
And you're not going to keep all of your followers interested in your stream to begin with.
Nah.
That's why it's like a hollow number. It doesn't matter. They're
Mhm.
all just there. The only thing that matters is those concurrent viewers.
Lucky.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the amount of followers you have really, like Saul says, it doesn't matter unless you're trying to hit affiliate. You get what was it, 50?
Yeah, you need
To hit
50.
affiliate. As long as if you see your follower count drop dramatically. Dramatically.
That's my actually that's my Trojan war hero, dramatically.
Dramatically. If you see your follower count drop drastically and your viewer count drop drastically, then yeah, maybe it's something that you're doing wrong. But if your follower count's dropping, viewer count stays the same, I worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known toxic things where people actually have like a bot that lets them look and see who unfollowed recently or who didn't,
Yeah,
right?
I've heard about that.
That's a super like thing that'll get you in your head when you start looking at that. And
That's
I'm not
hilarious.
pointing out at anybody that's smiling right now on camera with us, but that's one of those things that you are putting yourself in a position you don't want to be in, you know? Like,
Yeah.
why do you want to know that so and so unfollowed? Who gives a fuck?
Now I
Yeah.
will say I did have that bot for a little while.
I avoided it.
Only because it was during that time period whenever a certain game come out and people were
You're talking about Harry
unfollowing
Potter?
yeah, Harry Potter.
I think it's
People were
called
following
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts
Okay.
Legacy,
That had nothing
yeah.
to do with Harry Potter.
I mean, a little bit.
People were unfollowing just because of the game, you know, and everything
Yeah.
that was going on with that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so I noticed I lost about 100 followers throughout that time period of me playing that game.
Wow.
And I was just curious. I was like, who is it that's unfollowing me? You know, and some of the people were shocking to me. I was like, wow, man, like we were tight,
Yeah.
you know, and I still follow them. I still show up into their streams, you know, it's no hard feelings. I get it. You know, they probably just got caught up in the hype of it, you know, and they still talk to me whenever I go in there, you know. I don't
Right.
say nothing about it. It is what it is, you know.
I think that's a good random tip to pull up real quick. I think so. Let's pretend they intentionally, like, I mean, obviously they intentionally unfollowed you, right?
No, they
Intentionally,
would have had to if
right? But
Oh,
let's
yeah.
say because, like, they're like, oh, I don't stand by whatever the situation was back then. It's not even really worth bringing up, but and then you go in there and they feel forced to talk to you. You know what I mean? So I think for any new streamers, like, I think that's something important. Like, you gotta, like, just ban that person. Like, don't sit there and make yourself uncomfortable when certain people come to your stream that you don't want to fuck with. Like, if you got somebody you don't like, or you don't, their content's whatever, just ban them. There's no point in sitting there trying to, because to me, honestly, it looks more fake to sit there and be like, oh, hi, I mean, this comes from experience. Like, I just don't, because in my head, I was like, oh, I'm just trying to be a good person and not, but at the end of the day, I just felt disgusting. Like, I was like, I should have just banned them, So, just random small tip there. Is that funny, son? Because you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You're funny, dude. Yeah, I mean, so, sitting here listening to you guys say all that again that you told me so long ago, I think you guys understand. It's like newer streamers, like, out, like Sauce, like, oh, you got under my skin. Because I was with you when you hit 2,000, and you're like, it doesn't matter, I only got, I think at that time it was like 15 concurrent viewers. He's like, so I only need 15 followers, and I was, as a newer person, like, hungry and starving and wanting followers, I was like, fuck this guy, dude. Like, hell no. And then hearing Lucky explain it almost the exact same way, but like, in a sweet Lucky fashion of like, they supported me, so it was cool, but like, I just care about the people in chat. I'm like, fuck this guy. I want all the followers. But now as a more, vetted streamer, it's just like, you got to think about all the different games that you've played. If you're a variety type streamer and play different games, some people came in and followed me during God of War. Maybe they're only a fan of God of War and they don't like my Call of Duty antics, my Fortnite antics. Like, they don't, but they remembered I played God of War. They liked me when I played God of War, so they still support me and give me that follow. You know what I mean? So I think that's something else you got to think about. If people go and unfollow you, let it happen. Maybe they just looked at their follower list, noticed that you're always on, and they're just like, I don't watch this person. I don't find them entertaining, and they unfollowed you, so they'd stop getting the noti, or stop seeing you all the time. That's totally okay. That why would you want that person's follow if they're not going to aid you in anything? Like, as far as viewership, just being there, like, all they're doing is giving you a false number to be happy about. And that's what it is. I've only seen, in my time of looking for sponsors, I think I've only seen one or two, and I've been through a bunch that cared about the follower amount. And those are going to be your bigger, like, a more established, sponsors that are just like, we only support bigger creators anyways. You never stood a chance anyway. You haven't gone viral or anything. So yeah, I think that is the only time I've seen it matter.
Mhm.
So all of tonight's subjects have kind of led up to this topic here that I wanted to discuss with you guys. We have a community member. Not gonna call her out here. Just beautiful soul, beautiful person. Just one of my personal favorites in the community. Kind of struggling right now with some issues going on. Just trying to figure out, like, kind of feeling lost. Like what should we play? What should we do? How should we do things? Kind of noticing when they don't play a certain game, they don't do so well, so they're kind of worried about it. And it's coming actually to a point where even people that have followed her will come in and be like, hey, like, why are you not playing this? Well, I don't want to watch this. Like, first off, if you're going in somebody's stream and telling them that, like, you're a terrible person, I don't care who you are.
That's toxic.
Yeah.
Super toxic.
But then, they're feeling like, oh, well, like, I'm playing this game, but it's making me unhappy, and I feel like I'm getting burnt out on it, and I want to play something else. So my advice, of course, was like, absolutely, do you play something else, find something to make you happy,
Mhm.
kind of some of the other issues that are just kind of more, just girl related. Like sometimes, she'll doll up and absolutely slay on stream and just look amazing. And sometimes she just feels like relaxing and not doing all that and still slays on stream. It doesn't matter. But now she'll get to the point where like it's almost even bullied. Like people will come in and be like, why aren't you wearing makeup today? I don't want to watch you without makeup. Like, first off, little dick energy there. Get out of the chat,
Yeah.
I hate that she's going through this. I think the last thing before we start getting into the heavy conversation about everything she's going through is like, sometimes she rocks a camera and sometimes she just doesn't feel like having the pressure of being on camera. She doesn't want to be on camera, or for whatever reason, she's got a bunch of stuff going on in the background she doesn't want on camera, which I think is totally fine. But again, people are threatening to unfollow her and threatening to not be there or not sub anymore just because she's not rocking makeup or a camera. I think that shit's ridiculous, dude. Like I we've talked about it when Lucky was on break and we had Nana on here about how girl streamers are treated, dude. And I fucking, like, it's annoying. Like, I hate it. So what words of encouragement would you have for our friend here?
Do your damn thing you want to do. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Ban their bitch asses. If they're threatening not to watch you because you're not playing a game they want to see, they can go watch somebody fucking else.
Mm-hmm.
Play what you want to play. There's people out there that want to watch you play whatever you want to play. And like I said plenty of times on this podcast, the whole goal is to find people that are a fan of you, not a fan of the game that you're playing.
Right.
So find those people that love you for you. If you don't want to use a camera that day, don't use a camera that day. If you want to have a camera, have a camera. If you want to wear makeup, put on some fucking makeup and slay. If you don't want to have some makeup on, slay without it. I don't give a fuck, because you're
Right.
still you. You are the person making the content, and you need to be taking care of yourself first. Keep yourself happy and stop worrying about your fucking numbers first and foremost, because if this isn't your full-time job, if this isn't something that you're living paycheck to paycheck off of, your numbers at the end of the day don't matter. And all it's going to do is make you really upset if you keep
Facts.
seeing it fluctuate. So stop doing that to yourself, because that's what you're doing, is you're taking this moment that you could be having fun and enjoying it, and you're making it into a chore. You're making it into something that is difficult. You're making it into something that is going to stress you out more and more. Don't do that to yourself. You don't have to do that. You're an awesome person. You're entertaining. Be entertaining. Have fun. Everything else happens just because you're doing that. Everything is all related whenever you're streaming. If you're having fun, you're being entertaining, and you're doing something you love, you're going to have people come in that have the energy that you want. You're going to have people that are like, oh, this person's awesome. Let me follow him. You know what? This person deserves my Prime sub. This person is somebody that I would donate 5 subs to, because you're doing the right things. You're doing things for yourself. So take care of you first and foremost.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with pretty much everything Sauce said there. I wouldn't be as blunt about it, but I definitely agree with what he said. And also, man, like, what kind of person just comes in and just tells you how to run your stream? You know?
Bitch.
Such an asshole, dude.
Okay. No more
Why
tips
ain't
to you
you-
guys in life. Got
Why
it.
ain't you wearing makeup today? Huh?
Yeah.
You know, come on,
It's
dude.
it's ridiculous.
Get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Get outta here.
Absolutely insane that someone would have the audacity to go into a woman's stream and be like, you know what, I don't really want to look at your face today, so maybe you should put some makeup on. Like, that's what you're
Right.
saying. You're saying you don't look good without makeup, and that's terrible to say to somebody in general.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Facts, dude.
if somebody wants to wear makeup, if somebody doesn't want to wear makeup, that is a completely personal decision on them. Like, if I wanted to wear makeup and someone came in and said something about it, I'd tell them to shove it up their ass because I don't fucking care about them coming into my place and trying to stir something up. And that's what you have to have, that kind of attitude. You could be nicer about it like Lucky is, or you can be blunt like I am, or you can be, combative like Aztec and can be sometimes. It's all dependent on you and how you approach it. But it is your space. Do not let someone come in and control you in your space and tell you what to do. Those people are not what you want your community made out of anyway. You're
Right.
better off getting rid of them, cutting them out, and starting with some new people that are going to be a lot nicer to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, both of you guys are going to be hard to follow up, but my advice to this specific person and any new or anybody, I guess anybody really, but just sum it up easier, is exactly what Saw said. Like, cut them out, ban them, and get rid of them. And I know, I get it. When you're new and you're starving and you're wanting support, I know sometimes we're willing to take negative support just to get support. Just to feel like we have somebody watching, feel like we have somebody there in chat. But I'm telling you right now, in the long run, you're going to hurt yourself a lot more by allowing those people to stay with you, allowing them to make you feel the way that you feel. You're going to end up quitting, is what you're going to end up doing. You're going to end up getting burnt out and just not wanting to even go live no more. But also, you have to think about the community that you're trying to build. How many other females are in your chat feeling like, they're talking to her this way, they're going to talk to me like this. I don't even want to be in this chat. So definitely want to build your community around you. I know we're telling you to not allow people to tell you how to run your stream, but I'm telling you, like, that's in your best interest. That's not me trying to gain something out of you. That is just me trying to give you a tip. I would definitely ban them. Also, I would go through and put moderation on certain words, if you don't want them said, because I know we had heard complaints in the past of people asking for that special link. You can literally type in those words and put them in your to be moderated out, where you don't even have to see them. So I know those things are annoying, man, and I hate the freaking we allow teenagers on this app to be dumb and come in. It's not even just teenagers though, but mostly those younger guys that come in and think this is like a fucking dating site, or like I turned my stream on today to find somebody to find me attractive. No, like I want you to be attracted to my funny. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to fucking date you. That's like so stupid that people are trying to use this as that.
Actually, like Aztecan's method of his special link.
Yeah, I mean, I turned it
Just
into
straight
something
trolling.
comical. It's not a point that people were like asking me for it seriously, but I think everybody just had a running joke of like, oh, you should start one of those spicy links, I put it in there, I actually stole the idea from my good friend who streams. I went into his chat and did it. I'm not sure how he'd feel about me shouting him out, so I'm gonna leave it out for now, but because I know he's a pretty private guy, but which makes no sense because streamer. But yeah, just a super good idea, but I don't recommend that for female streamers who don't want that kind of attention. Just because it kind of leaves that window still there to talk about it,
Right.
So,
Not only are you having people in your chat, like let's say there's other women in your chat seeing what's going on, you're seeing what you're allowing, they're also seeing and looking up to you as a streamer. Because like we talked about, when you're streaming, people are looking up to you and seeing what you're doing, and they're modeling what they're doing kind of after that to some extent. Like, we've all had content creators we've looked up to in the past, and we've kind of taken some of the things that they've done and incorporated it in our own stuff. So if they're seeing that you're allowing these toxic people to come in and tell you how to run their stream, that's just setting up them for the exact same thing. So if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for them. Like I don't want to say it bluntly, but I have to sometimes. You have to have thick skin, you got to grow a backbone, and you got to tell people to shove it up their ass and get the fuck out of the community if they're going to be like that.
Yeah.
And I hate being that guy who's that blunt, but sometimes you got to be blunt with people. Some people are stupid and you got to hit them in the head with a 2x4 for them to understand something, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I know this is gonna seem weird. Hopefully you watch this episode. I'm definitely gonna send you a message to watch this episode for our advice. But I know you're not gonna think I can relate to you on this whole makeup thing, but I really can. I have people all the time that ask me, "Are you wearing makeup?" I have people tell me that I should wear makeup because it's ugly. How I have my my vitiligo, my disability, my skin disability, whatever condition. I don't know why I said disability condition. It is, I get it. I know how it can make you feel. I know, especially live when it's happened. It's only happened to me a couple times live, but I know live, like it can really kind of shake your confidence out of nowhere. Like, you were like, I'm going to stream today. I don't feel like doing my makeup, whatever. And you get on and you're having a good time. And then somebody comes and mentions it kind of makes you feel like self-conscious. Like, I already know, like I totally get it. Just don't, like I said, you absolutely slay makeup, no makeup, camera, no camera. I absolutely love you for your personality, and that goes for anybody out there. Just don't worry about it. You don't want to rock a camera today, don't rock a fucking camera today. Just because you bought it, just because you've rocked it in the past, you want to go live without a camera, you're just not feeling it. You probably shouldn't stream that day, period. Like if you're just not feeling up to it. But if you're like, I want to stream, but I just don't want to be on camera. I've been there. Like I felt that way. I had no problem with streaming. I just didn't feel like being on camera. So, that happens. I've ended streams just because I was like, suddenly I'm like, I don't feel like being on camera no more. We're done. So, yeah. What were you saying, Sauce? My bad.
Oh, you're fine. I was just gonna say, like you've struggled with the whole makeup thing before too, to the point where you were contemplating getting rid of Diva as one of your redeems because it had the eyelashes and everything, and people were making the comments about you having makeup on social media, and like it was like it's something that got to you a little bit, and
oh yeah, for sure,
because it's something you can't control. Like it sucks when people make fun of something you can't control, or they make comments about something that you didn't want to do that day. It sucks when people do that, and people be people, and they assholes sometimes, man. They just are, and there are trolls out there. There are good people out there, and there's trolls out there.
We need to have that on a shirt by now.
People be people.
People be people.
I know.
Man,
okay, I'm behind. I'm behind on merch. I get it. I hear you. I hear you. Make more merch for the stream PC. You gotcha. Okay. No, yeah, man, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like I can be super thick skinned, but there's like that thing is something I've struggled with since I was a kid. I mean, when I was in middle school and it kind of started like really like being apparent like what was going on, I started with my hands. So then I would be that kid when it's 100 degrees outside still wearing a hoodie because I used to have it like pulled over my hand and like crunched up in my like so you'd never even see because I'd be so insecure about it. I'm talking, I'd have the pencil inside the hood and all you'd see is like the pencil tip because I would be just so fucking insecure about it. It took me a good while to not care about it. I don't think I really don't think I was insecure. Is that a word? Until I got to like high school and I was playing football and, I became somebody, high school somebody,
You were secure in it.
Yeah. I was just like, well, it is who I am. I don't give a fuck. I'm still stronger than you. I'm still faster than you. Like, I don't care. At that point I had other things that would make me proud of myself. So, yeah, when that happened, I think it was last year, right? Last year with the whole Diva thing. And I got super insecure about it. I went to my wife and she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, my thing. And she's like, I forget you have that sometimes. Like when I've been around you so long, I kind of don't even notice it. And then I thought, was it you, Lucky, or you saw? I don't remember who. I talked to one of you guys the next day and you're like, yeah, sometimes I don't even see it anymore. Like it's just just forget it's there, because eventually you just stop seeing shit like that when you talk to somebody for a long time. So yeah, I mean, even now today, when I'm doing well, if I have like a bunch of people in and somebody redeems Diva, part of me, you can see it. I'm just like, like I don't want to, you know what I mean? So
I think it's important to know that no matter how strong someone's armor is, like how thick their skin is, there's always something out there that's going to be able to get through it. Just like for instance, we talked about Fallout having their new TV show here recently, right? There's a point in it where the ghoul, this might be a spoiler for some people, but there's a point in it where the ghoul knows there's a weak part in the armor of one of the power suits in there, of one of the power armor, and he shoots that exact spot and kills the guy. But it's a fucking power armor. He shot the exact spot where there was a hole. That's
Very
what
tiny
trolls
spot.
find, man. That's what trolls find. They find that one little tiny spot and they figure out what it is. And that's what hurts the most when they find it. So it doesn't matter how thick your skin is. There's going to be somebody out there that's going to troll. It's going to hurt. And you just got to shake it off and just keep going. And for that person that we were talking to today, just know that we love you. We
Absolutely.
support you. And if anybody says anything to you, just send them to us and we'll kick their ass for you.
Standing on business. Yeah, absolutely. But again, you know, these tips today were definitely targeted at one person, just because we know they're hurting and it hurts us to see them hurting. But really, it goes for anybody. You know, any of you guys struggling, you know, again, feel free to come chat with us when we're live on our personal channels. Links are all in the bios everywhere you can go. Feel free to comment down below if you're on YouTube or whatever. If you're on any of our socials, we post shorts too. Feel free to comment there. We're pretty good about answering people there, unless you're just being a troll. Sometimes even then, sauce is feeling spicy. You know, feel free to reach out to us. You know, come meet us if you like us. You know, pick one of us to join our community. You know, within all three of our Discords, we have a section for podcast ideas. If you want us to talk about something, you know, once you get in there and we get to know you, if you want to private message us and be like, hey, like I want you to talk about this, but I don't want people to know it was me. You know, we do a pretty good job at not calling people out when they don't want to be called out. Yeah, man. I mean, we're here to help. Again, you know, we're just three small streamers at the end of the day, and I know some of us hate to be called that, but it is what it is. We're small streamers. You know, even though we are all within 2%, top 2% Twitch, you know, super happy about that, you know, but we're not here because we think, you know, we're any kind of special. We're not here trying to give you guys tips because, you know, we think we're just this big old streamer that just knows everything. We're just here to help you guys, you know, with things that wish we had. You know, I was lucky enough to have these two and get most of this help that I needed, you know, which definitely progressed me as far and as fast as it did. So that's just kind of what the goal was for the podcast, was to be on here to help you guys, you know, who are new in the same level, because we can relate to you better. You know, if you want a big streamer to come, I think we talked about it before. Ninja had his thing and people were laughing about it because they couldn't relate. You know, they couldn't relate to his ideology and what he was doing. You know, so that's kind of where we come in, where we're like, we can relate to you. You know, we've put in the sweat equity, we've done the work, we've been there, done that. You know, we have emotions and feelings, and we still go through things today. So, just a quick reminder for all the trolls that are like, "Who are these guys? Who do these guys think they are?" You know, we don't think we don't think we're nothing special, but we do think that we are the Stream PC.